be. Ink-stained hands, open door, pull up a chair, there's room for more. Slow-made stories, nothing stressed. Fold your heart into the mess. Stay a while, no second guess. Come on in, sugar pepper press. Paper worn from what it seemed, truth tucked in the in-between. Quiet work, steady hands, beauty grows where you just stand. Slow-made stories, nothing stressed.
Hey guys, this is Christine from Sugar Pepper Press, and we are going to make the devotional for Anchored in Truth today. I am excited because this will make the second video in a series, and this is a very much like a testing ground for me. Not to see if this works out, but just for me. So anyway, I've got just a couple things that I don't want to miss, so I'm just making sure. Okay, so we are going to use the covers. I actually have a set A and set B. They are in the freebie cupboard on my website. So if you haven't signed up for the freebie cupboard, you can do that on my website, sugarpepperpress.com. And you could just like click on freebies or freebie cupboard, and then you'll just sign up there and give me your email address and say that it's good to email you, and then you'll get a key in the follow-up email. You'll get a key that you will type into the cupboard to open it. So I usually try to remember to send that out when I send out emails, and I will be changing it this year. So just keep an eye on that, just like when you get an email. So anyway, these are in there, and also in there are, I've separated them out now, but the guides for these, that's in there. So I'm going to do the 1.5 inch of this. But I wanted to tell you that I am going, so these are my pieces that I'm going to use. I've already made the chipboard part, and I'm going to tell you. So I'm using this chipboard base that I already made. This base is just created with the, let me make sure it's the right size. Why does this look longer? Well, that's not great. Let's see. Oh, I know why. But that should be, it's going to be fine. This is the whole guides, and that would otherwise not be. Let me see something here. Okay, so that's the goal. This is smaller than this, and I think it's because when I made this, I did this one in, I think, October, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to use that because it's just fine. There's nothing wrong with it, unless there is. And if that is the case, let me see something here. This is the kind of stuff that should be B-roll, but it's not going to be B-roll. Maybe just edit it out, or because this is literally the very thing I'm working on. My husband might actually just leave it that way. I think I cut this out on the silhouette. I think that's what happened. But the goal here isn't to make, the goal here is just to get the thing covered. So I'm going to use it. We're just going to wing it. And if it doesn't work out, it'll be okay. It will be okay. So anyway, I'm just going to use the chipboard that I already have. And this piece of chipboard I made when I was recording the gratitude devotional, and I had done it, but I think I didn't do something right, or something happened with the video, and I was like, I've got to start all over. And so the reason that matters is because this time I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I already have this chipboard base put together. There's nothing wrong with it as far as I can tell, and it's perfectly fine. And I don't want to keep starting over just because something isn't perfect. So that's very firstborn of me, wanting to do it right. And today, that part of me doesn't need to run the show. So I'm going to use this. And I want to say a quick word about the devotional pages. So if you like the idea of just being able to send this through your printer and print front and back, the PDF version of these is made for that. So each signature will get 6 pages, and I coordinated everything so that if you run it through double-sided printing on the short edge, because this is the short edge and this is the long edge, so you want it to flip on the short edge so that it comes out right. If you have that capability on your printer, then you can use the PDF and it will be perfect. If you don't, or if you want to put it together in a different way, the JPEGs are also included and they're all numbered. So, and there's nothing, so like on the left is your day, your devotional day, and on the right is your notes. So no matter where your notes end up, it's fine, right? Because that's all the same. So this devotional prints directly from the PDF. Print double-sided, flipping on the short edge. Lay the pages out, starting with day 1 on the left, stacking upward. Every 6 pages folds into one booklet called a signature. Days 1 to 6 fold together, then 12 to 17, then 23 to 28. The backs line up automatically, and these reference images are included in the download folder. You can also use the PDF for reference. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay. And I am going to, what I'm going to do is score these. So I'm just doing this real time, and what I may do is speed up where there doesn't need to be anything, just because, besides the fact that I'm super nervous about doing this in like quote unquote real time without any preparation, and that I don't want to just spend a lot of time editing videos, I also get a little kind of, I guess, nervous that they'll be like, well, y'all will be like, okay, I just scored that on the wrong thing. See, because I had to print these with borders, they're not exactly 11 inches. What are they now? So they are 10 3/4. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to figure out where halfway point is. So besides the fact that I'm nervous, I just also tend to, that didn't help, be like sidetracked with my head, and I'd be like, was I talking? Was I not talking? What was I talking about? So, oh boy. So because these are devotional pages, and I wanted to do them double-sided so I didn't lose track of anything. They are a little bit smaller because my printer does not. So that's a little too far. What is that? It's very loud in here today. It's right there. What is that? There's 5, and I think that's 5 1/4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 3/8. Okay, 5 3/8 is where I'm gonna do these at. Can I mark that somewhere? Let's see. I have a permanent marker here. Oh, it's a highlighter. If y'all could see my craft area, it's insane. I'm gonna get it together. 5 and 1, 2, 3. There. Okay. It is New Year's Eve here. So welcome everybody. Oh boy. That's fine. That's right. Okay. And it's New Year's Eve. And I just want to thank y'all for your support, because y'all have just been grabbing up this collection, which is very exciting. I have to tell you, it's very exciting. This has been sorry about that. It sounds like a motorcycle. This collection has been, before I introduced it, had been brewing for over a month. And I really just redid a lot of things. I just kept going back and forth about some different things until it started finally clicking, and then it just all went together very fast after that. There we go. That's done. Now, 6. Okay, now we're at 7. No, we're at, because this will be 7 through 11. Yeah. So now we're at 12. So we're going to go 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So that's the second signature. Let's move that all the way. But I just have to say that for this to take off as well as it has so quickly after dropping, I don't know if y'all are familiar, but with Etsy, the way that things work is you drop a product and it goes, it gets kind of a boost for 48 hours. So if anybody was searching for devotionals or coastal or mental health reset or anything like that, it would likely show up within the first 48 hours in the searches. After that, though, it goes on kind of a hiatus, and it is hard to find. It does not pop up in the searches for about 30 days, which stinks, honestly. But I am very familiar with this process because I've been doing this for 1.5 years. And if you've seen my Etsy shop, it says that I've been on there 2.5 years, and that's not accurate. I've been on Etsy actually actively selling for 1.5. I opened this store 2.5 years ago because I was going to sell something completely different and changed my mind. I'm not done, so why am I putting that away? I changed my mind, so it sat there for a year untouched. I need 3 more pages. Let's see. 26, 27, 28. This will be 29. This will be 30. What 3 pages do I want to add here? Let's see. Oh, maybe I should grab the rest of the chart. Oh boy. Okay, what number is this? This is 17 through, let's see. This is through 22. Okay. Well, there days 23 through 30. Okay. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So this is what happens, y'all, when I am not fully prepared and composed. But I picked my word of the year, and my word of the year is practice. It was going to be experiment. I don't remember what I was saying before. See, this is why it was going to be experiment, but then I was on ChatGPT, and so I was talking to Chatty about this word because I was really going through what do I want for my word of the year, and I kind of do a lot of processing with Chatty. Oh, that was loud. Which may wig some of y'all out. Hopefully not. But anyway, it's really good because it helps me kind of process through stuff that I'm thinking and kind of get feedback on it. But anyway, it was like, if what your goal is to do is to not feel like you have to perform, then experiment is probably not going to be the right word, because experiment, once you make a hypothesis, then you prove that hypothesis right or wrong, right? Okay. You have the analysis, conclusion, blah, blah, blah. So the thing is that if you're trying not to perform, but you're putting a word on yourself that is like, did this go well? Or like, did you do this quote unquote right? Or did you do it wrong? And to me, that is the very struggle, is to feel like it has to be right. So if I'm not 100% certain that it is going to be right, I really struggle to do it. I really struggle to start it. So I show you what I bought. It's this little sign. I got it at Buc-ee's. It was probably like $10. It's a piece of wood with some letters. I mean, it's cute, right? And it was like so perfect for what I am trying to accomplish this year. And so it's fine. I'm fine. Everything is fine, which is what I say all the time. And that's really just a way for me to kind of coach myself, and, bring myself back down. And if you've ever dealt with any kind of panic or anxiety disorder or anything like that, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that is, I'm practicing this year. So you'll be hearing, I'm sure, more about that in the coming weeks, especially. One time I had a word of the year and I ended up getting it tattooed on my shoulder. So who knows what'll happen. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to cut this cover out. This I want on my outside. So you have a set A and a set B. One of them has this on the outside and this on the inside. And then one of them has this on the outside and this on the inside. So, and then like I mentioned, the freebie cupboard, those guides for punching the holes are in there as well. And you don't have to have this. It just is something easy that's, it's easy for me to put together. You can, there's literally thousands of videos on putting together junk journal covers on YouTube. And if you watch 75 of them, you might see something consistent. I don't know. Everybody does it differently. And I have some favorite creators for sure. And I think because I have some favorite creators, that's like, I guess what has been a little bit shocking to me, that y'all want to hear what I have to say and watch me work on this stuff. I'm just trying to embody what I have been practicing in a physical sense. So anyway, I've got so many ideas in mind for YouTube this year. One of them, I think this is probably where I came up with the idea for experiment. One of the ideas that I had was to, I want to do a bunch of like dyeing papers. And there is so many videos on dyeing. There are so many videos. But anyway, and then there's just like not one way. So my kind of idea for that was to try a few different ways for you. And like, it's really, I think what I'm trying to do here is, I think what I'm trying to do is to say, like, there's no rules in junk journaling. There's not a right way. And so for me this year, with my word being practice, this is kind of what that looks like. Just showing up, doing the thing, letting it be imperfect, and trusting that it's still good. It's still fine. Or it's, or it's good enough. Or, because there aren't any rules, even if there were rules, there would be grace. And I think I need to share my testimony. I need to put that, it's on YouTube. And some of you have probably found it, but I need to share that. I just wanted to do like a little intro for that because it can kind of freak people out. It's a lot. It's a very big life thing.
Your dryer is done.
That dryer, I know that thing goes off almost literally every single time that I do a video, but that's what's kind of funny because it's going all the time. It's literally going all the time. So we're just going to overlap this. Oh, I brought where is it? Okay, I grabbed a magazine out of the closet. I think I'm sure I've mentioned somewhere that I taught art classes. And so I have so many magazines. Where do I want this? I decided this last time. The ice cream man is outside. Because what is the temperature here? Let's see. Hey, Alexa, what's the temperature outside?
It's 64 degrees and sunny outside right now.
Okay.
The high today will be 68 degrees and the low will be 38 degrees.
It did not feel like 68 degrees outside earlier. It felt like 80. I'm not kidding. It was pretty warm. I had to go to Walmart. I don't recommend going to Walmart on New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve or any kind of Eve of anything. I've been there no, I didn't go to Walmart on Thanksgiving Eve. I went to H-E-B. Oh, that was a nightmare. Have I mentioned that I do not like shopping? I'm going to fix this. I'm going to use this. That's how I'm going to fix it. Just going to keep going. I just want it to be really good and sealed. And this isn't working quite. It's just not big enough. I need a big dictionary. Speaking of dictionaries, or rather, I was going to speak of encyclopedias, not really dictionaries, but another idea I have for YouTube this year is a encyclopedia of junk journal ideas. I think that's going to be a series that I do, and I would love to get it started soon because I would love to have like 52 of them, which mean I need to drop one next week. And I have already my ideas, like they're already made. I already have like a whole like outline for my ideas. But my thinking was that I'd be able to throw some extra freebies into the freebie cupboard for you with that. I just love trying new things. I think, and I love learning. I love learning. The hard part for me is getting over that stage fright, I guess, if you will, of sharing what I learned. And I mean, I've been teaching my own kids for 30 years, and then kids in our co-ops for almost that long. So that's uneven, but it's fine. So, but there were times, especially with high schoolers, where it's just like, man, I do not want to look like an idiot. I do not want to look like an idiot in front of these kids. And so I would like crazy prepare, and still feel inadequate to talk about something I loved, which most of the time was history. so quickly, I had to realize, like, these kids are going to know more than I do. I know that, like, any public or private school teacher already, like, is familiar with that sense. But they are going to know more than I do, and that is a good thing. I'm just kind of like trying to get it straightish. I'm gluing that down. This, I'm using my Fabri-Tac here because this is, I just like the way it bonds, especially on these big pieces like this. And these are printed on, this is printed on cardstock, 110-pound cardstock. The links are in the description for what I'm using. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm doing 1.5 inch spine. So I'm gonna cut this out now. I think what I'm going to do is not narrate everything, and instead I'm just going to really put some music on. Oh look, my printer. I need to align it or something. Clean the print head. Oh, I think that's what I was saying at one point. That's what I was, see y'all? So I wanted to do double-sided printing because I knew keeping everything lined up would be easier. And my printer does not do borderless double-sided printing. So what I need to figure out, I need to do it at a time where I'm not rushed. I'm trying to get ahead this year. Like, I'm trying to get ahead by ideally 2 months. 2 months of drops ahead. It's going to take me a little bit to get there, but that's the goal. Just feel like this is the year, right? This is the year where things are going to just happen in a big way. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this. I'm just going to, because I've just thought about it a lot, and I've just taken time to, there's just been times when I'm sitting down with my iPad like planning, and I am just sipping on tea, sipping an afternoon cup of coffee, which I can do because I have ADHD, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't seem to matter. Oh, that's far off. Oh, it's probably not that far off because it's somewhere off here, but you know what, we're just gonna go with it. So, I think people are crafting today. I've had a lot of y'all pop in to the shop today, and I appreciate it because I think Etsy's doing like a Y2K thing. Do y'all remember Y2K? Oh my goodness. I think I should overlap that a little bit more. Anyway, if you were alive, I'm going to make an assumption that the majority of people that are listening here were alive and adults for Y2K. But I had 2 littles, and my husband was working. My husband is in tech and for the phone company, and he was then, he is now, still same company, AT&T, and it was Y2K. So it was December 31st, 1999, and I remember, so I took the kids to a New Year's Eve thing that we had at church, and one of them was, she was just like, I guess 7-ish months old. And then I had a 3-year-old. And, which is funny because my grandkids are like a year and 3. And then I have 2 other, like, I'm thinking about my daughter, of how old she was. And then my son has 2, and they are 9 months and 2. But anyway, so I get them, I get them home. So we bring in the new year. I get them home. It's of course way past bedtime. And, I'm trimming this up a little bit because it's just too big. And I get them home, I get them in bed, and I'm like, oh, okay, got them in bed. My husband was always very active, so if he wasn't around, it was harder because he was so helpful when he was around, But anyway, he was at work, and I called him, and I was like, so, like, what's happening? Anything big happening? And he's like, nope. I said, he's like, we're just sitting here waiting for this thing to blow up or whatever's gonna happen. It was like there had been so much preparation, and I think they had a couple things that happened, but like nothing major at all. And that was like expected to happen. I need to put more glue on this. I can feel that I need to put more glue, a lot more. Anyway, and so today, I was saying all that to say this. Today, Etsy is like not showing any of my stuff. So all day, the majority of the day, it's been like, you've had 0 visits, you've had 0 views. And I'm like, really? Because I hear the cha-ching, like somebody's buying something, but I could not see. I can't see how many orders I've gotten. I can't see like revenue, which is on your dashboard. And but I keep hearing cha-ching. So I'm like, okay, even though it says there's nobody around, I know people are doing something. So anyway, all that, I appreciate y'all coming in and popping in the store today. So I have a lot of great plans for YouTube. This is the first of those plans. So I'll just tell you. I'm going to tell you because maybe like what it's going to do. I think my goal is maybe if I tell you, it's going to kind of light the fire to make sure things happen. My goal is to drop 1 faith kit per month. At least 1 faith kit that has a devotional. Okay. And because I know I need that for me. So it would be helpful. And then what I'm calling an aesthetic kit. So it's not necessarily like faith-centered, but it'll be an more aesthetic based kit. And then I have plans to do some more folios, of course, like interactive folios. I have some ideas for like functional kits. And then so then there will just be some alternating things that happen. I will have some scripture scraps. I'm hoping to launch new scripture scraps every other month. I know how much y'all love them. They are not easy for me. And here's why. I really like to think about how every single thing coordinates. So I really deliberate on all of that a long time. And that's what makes it difficult is because I just ponder and ponder and ponder. Probably too much, honestly. But with this practice of practicing, I think that's what I'm going to say. I'm practicing. With that, what I'm doing is I'm trying to take things a little less serious. I think just with life sometimes, I mean, I love to have fun and I kind of joke a lot and stuff, but I think sometimes I just get very like intense. It can be very intense. And like I get super serious about things and I take things to, I think everything feels very big to me, and important. And so especially when it comes to, of course, working with scripture, it's really, really important. And so that's why I think I want things to land well all the time with that. And I think that's why I take it so, I'm so careful about it. My goal is to be like, still obviously careful, but it's to be like a little bit less thinking that there's something major going to happen. Something is going to go wrong if it isn't perfect. And that's what this whole year is for me, is this practicing. That, there's nothing that's going to happen. Like, there's no major ordeal. And like I obviously think there is. I mean, I would never probably be able to normally say that out loud, but something in me thinks that, or else I wouldn't procrastinate so long, or I wouldn't, I mean, I don't know. If you're familiar with Fly Lady, you probably know kind of what I'm talking about right now, because in one of her books, it was the first one she wrote. I read it honestly right after it came out, but look at me. I'm just kind of making a mess. You look at me like, okay, Christine, now you have to try. But anyway, she talked about procrastination and this. It's perfectionism that gets us bound up in oh, I don't want to, if I can't clean it perfectly, if I can't make the bed perfectly, I think that's her example, then I just don't want to do it at all. And she's like, pull the covers up and then the bed is made. You don't have to have all the, whatever you have on your bed, throw pillows or whatnot on there for it to be made or done or whatever. I think I'm going to use this one because I just stuck that glue right there. So I think I'm going to use this side because I've got a cover that's going to go there. And I just scraped that glue all over the place. But anyway, that's done. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mark I know what I did last time. Yeah. Okay. I really could use a little piece of Scotch tape. That would be helpful. I don't think we have one piece of tape in this house, to be honest with you, because I think it probably got used at Christmas. Oh. So how was your Christmas? Was it calm? Was it crazy? Ours was pretty calm, actually. We have a couple of traditions. I can't remember if I talked about those. One of our traditions is, if you are German, you're going to recognize this one, but one of our traditions is a pickle. It's a pickle ornament, and you hide the pickle ornament within the tree somewhere. And then the first person to find the pickle ornament gets $5, and they get to start the chain of opening gifts in our house. So in our house, we sit around in a circle around the living room, and one person starts, and then we just kind of go clockwise, or this year we went counterclockwise. Anyway, and everybody watches everybody open their gifts. That's how I did it when I was young, and I like doing it that way. And the kids like doing it that way because then it kind of makes your own personal gifts last longer. The anticipation of it all is really fun. And You know what? I forgot to get the guide out for the other one. But I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna do it this way. So we do that. The pickle thing started because I found a pickle ornament. It was like, goodness, I feel like it was like foam. Not like foam, like kid foam, but like that press type foam. And I had found one at Dollar Tree. And so I picked it up and it had the tradition listed on there. And what's so funny is the kids grew up doing it. I mean, I think we probably started it. I would have to say we started it at least 13 or 14 years ago. And so most of them have grown up doing it. And it was a big deal. And then a few years ago, my husband and I, his name is Pete, we were in Fredericksburg, and we were in this little glass shop, and they had a pickle ornament. And if you know anything about Fredericksburg, it's a German town. So when I saw the pickle ornament, I knew exactly what it was for. Because we went there, I feel like we went there around Christmas time, because I remember maybe we went there right after Christmas. I just remember the Christmas tree being up. But anyway, and so we replaced our foam ornament, which it was mangled. I mean, it was from Dollar Tree, so it wasn't like meant to last. But it was pretty mangled at that point. And we brought that home, and the kids were excited because they knew what that was. And one of my girls was saying this year, you know what's so funny, Mom, is that we do this tradition for this pickle. It's a German tradition, but nobody's German. And I'm like, I'm German. They're like, you are? So that was funny. So we do that. It's one of our traditions. And then we also make donuts. Now, don't get any crazy ideas. I'm not like making dough and letting it rise and pressing it down. No, I'm not doing all that. What I am doing is we get biscuits. And I have a donut hole cutter, and we have been using it for years. I before we had that, I don't know what I used, to be honest, but so we make donuts, and the kids help with making the icing, and then it's kind of like everybody gets in on the project at some point. And I have gotten faster over the last several years, and then this year we only did 3 times 8. 3 times 8 is 24, right? We only did 24. So we did 2 dozen. But I mean, there have been years that I made 6 cans of biscuit donuts. And so that's a lot. So we did that. So we do the get up. You open up your stocking. Everybody kind of opens theirs up at the same time because most of it's exactly the same. And if we're friends on Facebook, or if you have followed me personally, I don't know if that's public or not, but anyway, my husband does the stockings, and this year he also did all of the shopping. And by shopping, I mean clicking. I have mentioned it has been quite the year. And I was ready in November, and then I had actually purchased some stuff, and then I wasn't ready at all. So, okay, so what I'm going to do now is, even though these are going to lay separate, I'm going to punch them all together so that everything lines up really well. And I wish I had a very large book. My daughter went through all of my art supplies. I used to have a lot of old books and everything, because I would set this in the middle of that, but I don't have that anymore. Oh, that was odd. We're going to use this. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to clip it. I'm just gonna put this right here. I feel like I can't talk during this part, so I don't poke my finger. That would be terrible. Oh, sorry. We had to stop videoing because she took off part of her finger and we had to go to the hospital. Ugh, can you imagine? Bless their hearts. The people in the emergency room on New Year's Eve. I just feel like that's just a drag. I think there's just crazy things people do on New Year's Eve. They don't do other days of the year. That's my experience. There we go. There we go. I'm just kind of making sure this lines up right here part. Really kind of, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm still going to use it no matter what. That's being a booger. Let's see. That one was just being, I think I need that. Yeah, I mean, it shifted a little bit. It's mostly like along, you can see, but it's gonna be fine. Okay. Now, there's that. And then, I just had somebody message and said, do you have a private Facebook page? So this isn't live, so that's funny to me. Oh, I bet she meant like private as in a group. That's in the works. I mean, it's mentally in the works. Does that count? If it's mentally in the works? I would love to do that. I would love love, love, love to do that. I would love to have some of you that love my products. I would love to have some kind of team where you can make the things, and maybe we get that into the works sooner rather than later. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to do, I had so much like extra last time that it was just too much. We're going to do 4 lengths. 2, 3, 4. And then I'm just going to triple that. I want to get some other thread. So I'm actually working on the next kit. I have all the images done for it. I just need to get in there and put it together. And my daughter and my 2 of my grandbabies will be here tomorrow. They are flying in. See, I punched 5 holes and I meant to punch 3. So I'm only going to sew on 3. They are coming in from Maryland. They live in Texas, but they were visiting Maryland. And so they're coming in tomorrow. And we are doing a very like low-key Christmas gathering because we didn't get to, because I had sick people and I didn't want anybody else to get sick. We stayed sick for like 2 weeks. I stayed sick for 2 weeks. And then the kids just, anytime you have a big family and somebody gets sick, it just lasts a while. It just goes, it just feels like it takes a long time for everybody to get it. So it just kind of was like when they were little, except for, so we didn't want her to get sick because I didn't want her to be having to be on a plane with sick kids. No way. So, let's see, I want to come up. I'm going to start going this way. And her husband's deployed, and I didn't want her to have to deal with that just next level of stress by herself. So, so we are doing that tomorrow, and we're only doing it tomorrow. I would normally be like, no, I'm off. We're only doing it tomorrow because that's the day that, everybody's not working, or, they don't have 30 things going on. We don't have basketball games. I got my daughter that's in volleyball. She got on a club team. It's like an intro to club, so it's not like a full season. And that starts this month, or January, which is basically this month because it's tomorrow. So we've got that, and then I have one that just got one kiddo. He, his knee popped out of joint at one of his first practices of this season, and he just got cleared yesterday from physical therapy to play. He's a senior, so it's a very big deal. I'm excited for him to be able to finish out the season playing. So I am curious about everybody else's traditions. I would love for you to leave comments if you have a interesting tradition. I love traditions. I'm not great at them. My attention span is very short, and I forget things. So, and I get stressed about forgetting things, so that makes it worse. But if they're pretty low maintenance, or somebody else can kind of be in charge of them, I love them. I'm sure I've mentioned having ADHD. I do because I think there's kind of I think it's called the Lost Girls, but it's a generation of girls around my age who weren't diagnosed as kids because we didn't have the typical signs and symptoms like boys did. And that's unfortunate because I could have used some medical help whenever I was young. And just even like skills help. But, like I think I'm pretty certain that my dad had ADHD. Like, everything about him really does show me that he did. And, he wasn't diagnosed as a kid, but he was born in 1952. So that, of course he wasn't diagnosed. But, I was diagnosed when I was about 30. I feel like I was like 36. And I'll tell you what, I was just like, it was a relief. I know some people really struggle with having labels, but it was a relief to me to have an explanation to some of the things that I have been struggling with all my life. I remember spinning around on my knees between commercials. It doesn't feel real tight, but that's okay. And yeah, like I can still kind of feel like what that dopamine was like when I would spin around on my knees during commercials in the 80s, 70s, and 80s. But yeah, so I've mentioned that before, I'm sure. Anyway, it's had a massive impact on my life, but it wouldn't be who I am without it. So it is what it is, and I appreciate what I've learned, and I appreciate like who I am, I think, because of it. I think that it has shaped me and given me a lot of creative possibilities that I might not otherwise have had. And I think we're just kind of like, oh, that's just how she is. So there were things that they let me do thinking like I was just creative. So I love that part of it. There's part of that I do love. I think about things that a lot of people don't think about. I think a lot about things. My mind never stops, actually. We have a snack we're bringing for Christmas Eve. New Year's Eve to our friend's house. Did I talk about this? Okay, I think I was telling my hairdresser. Got my hair cut today. And she was like, do you always spend, New Year's Eve with the same people? And I'm like, yeah, pretty much for the last a lot of years. We have. And we do fireworks, and they actually moved here from California, and they have 20 acres out in the country, and it's fun. It's just fun out there. And they just finished building, a long time in the process, a party barn. They have finished the outside of it, not the like finished out the inside. But she has, they're just such cool people. They have animals, and you know, we did all the animal things for years. We had goats and cows, chickens. What else did we have? A horse. We did that, but it is not the it is, I think it's just it was a lot too much for me, and I don't like it that much. I had 10 acres. Anyway, they have 20 acres, so the kids can run, and now they're gonna have this party barn. They keep having weddings at their house. It's a great place to have weddings. And now they're gonna have a place, and they're gonna have dances, which they have anyway, but we just do them outside in the we usually do them out in the driveway. Recording a video. We'll just edit that out. Or leave it in. Leave it in. Okay, so we're going to glue this in. I'm just going to put all this right here. I see what happened. I mean, I don't really see what happened, but I do see where something went wrong, because this should be a little bit bigger than it actually is. Like the cover to the interior should be bigger, but I'm just gonna trim it down. I'm just pushing this down. I'm gonna push this down. I am so excited about this devotional, y'all. Like, I am so excited. I can't wait to get started on it myself, and I just, man, it's just the perfect timing. I got a little crazy with that glue, didn't I? Oh, what I'm doing over here. I am going to be organizing my craft area because well, it's just a disaster, and I can't find anything. And I've probably bought stuff multiple times that I couldn't find. And that's just the way I am when things are not organized. I used to be fine. I was like, I'll find it eventually, you know. And now, though, I'm like, well, I need it now. And I end up buying it again, and then finding it later, and then having two, and that's a drag. It's just a waste. So I got to organize, and that feels overwhelming. But I got a couple of like little drawers and stuff to do that, and I got a drawer, like a rolling cart. I had one, and then I was like, oh, I can fix it. And I tried to fix it, and I took it apart, and then I couldn't get it back together because the little thing on it was bent. So then I thought, this is going to fall. Like, this is going to fall, and it's going to like have stuff in it. It's going to make a disaster. So yeah, Pete was like, no, just get it again. Of course, I was using store money. So no, he says that anyway. He says that even when it isn't store money. Yeah, see how this interior is like, it's going to be a really kind of close cover, which is fine. Actually, I think it's gonna be better because it'll be easier to kind of like transport and stuff. I'm gonna kind of do a little smushing and pressing, kind of working that in. I'm sure the camera is shaking like crazy right now. I'll just go back in and glue those whenever the rest of this dries a little bit. Okay, there's that. Okay, now I am going to pick a cover. Now, the covers, so you're going to notice that I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of use things interchangeably between the kit and the, between the kit and the devotional. And that's because it all coordinates so well. But I'm not going to do that with everything, obviously. And now I'm like, where are... I guess I'm going to have to put the covers on later because I can't find them. Maybe they're in here. Are they in here? No. Okay, well, I'll show you whenever I finish that because I'm just doing this. I know I have I printed these on really, like, just regular copy paper. But this is what they look like. Maybe I have them. No. This is what they look like. So there's 2, 4. There are 6 of them. And there's the other one. There's 6 of them total, and you can use them for covers or cards. So they'll make like really big cards or covers. And so I will be putting these on after, like I'm going to print it on it. I don't want to use this paper. It's too thin for what I'm doing, but I'll print it out and put that on there. And then I'll show you whenever it's done. I'll do like a flip through. So now I'm just going to go through and do some embellishing on here and kind of get this ready. There's not a lot to put together in this kit. There's just a couple of things. There's an envelope. There's tabs. And yeah, just envelopes and tabs that you like have to just an envelope and tag and an envelope and a tag. So I'm gonna do that real quick. It's not I'm saying tag, but I'm meaning tabs, and there's 4 of those. The envelope says, this isn't even the right one. Where did I put it? No, it is the right one, I think. Oh, I know. Here it is. It's this one, and it says left at the water's edge, and that is actually... Okay, let's see. Yes. So in yours, it says thoughts I'm releasing, and it's a little it's like a little torn piece of paper here. I think I had already like printed a bunch of this out, and then I went back and made some changes, and I didn't feel like this was me embracing, practicing, and I was just like, I'm gonna leave that off. I'm not gonna reprint it, re-ink it and everything. I'm just gonna let it go. So we had something scary happen the other day. It's Friday, it's like the day after Christmas, and I turned on the heater and I started smelling smoke and like electrical burning smell, and we were chasing it down. We couldn't find it. We couldn't find out where it was coming from. And then Pete turned on the light to the like above the shower, and he saw smoke coming through the light. So he thought it was a light. What it was actually was the heat pump burning out in the attic. We have 2 units because we have upstairs and downstairs, and it was the heat pump burning out unfrying basically above where the shower is. So that's why it was coming down through that area. It was pretty freaky. We had somebody come out that day. They looked at it. They thought it was the motherboard that had fried. It was actually I think it was a heat pump. Yeah, that sounds right. That was messed up. So they were going to have to replace that. Well, our units are old. They were built with the house, which I thought was in 2011. It was not. It was in 2007. 11. Maybe that's where I got that. Who knows? But they were the original units, and we knew that they were going to be needing to be replaced. Just didn't know it was going to be right now. So it's been cold the last 2 nights, but it's starting to warm up today and should be warm for the rest of the week. They're not going to be able to come out till next Wednesday. So we the kids are fine because they're upstairs, and the unit up here is working fine. But I mean, you know, with Texas being, it's like cold or hot. Like, there's not usually too much in between. So we either have the heater on or we have the air conditioner on, like 95% of the time, which makes extremely high electric bills, as you can imagine. Okay, let's see what we're gonna do with this. I want like a pocket. I think, you know, what I thought about doing here was doing like a little pocket under here. I just wanted the movement. I've been seeing a lot of swiveling going on YouTube, so I just wanted a little bit of movement. That seemed fun there. But I think what I want to do is a pocket where I can put the different things that I'm working with. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that back here.
Morning light across the table, paper waiting, warning label, coffee rings in softened corners, thoughts still settling from before. I don't force the lines to land, I let the work find where it stands. Slow build pages, open hands, leave a little room unplanned. Every mark says yes, begin. This is where the work comes in. Some pages hold what time has taught, some stay open, still unthought. Notes that wander, edges fray, beauty shows up that way. No rush to make it bright or new, it knows when it's ready to. Slow build pages, open hands, leave a little room unplanned. Every mark says yes, begin. This is where the work comes in. Passed along from hand to hand, more than anyone had planned. Old threads meaning something new, stories made from what we do. You don't need the end in sight, just the knife to start it right. Sit with it and let it breathe, let it turn into what it needs. Oh, slow build pages, open hands. Nothing here you have to land. Made with careless writing. This is where the work comes in. I used to wait for clear signs, for quieter thoughts and better time. I thought I'd feel more ready then, but ready never showed up when. So I set the table anyway. Same small work, a different day. Not because I feel it click, just because I'm here to practice. Practice is improving, right? It's showing up without a fight. It's doing what I said I'd do, even when I don't feel new. Not the promise, not the plan, just the work back in my hands. I'm not chasing perfect timing, I'm just practicing. I used to fix and rearrange, try to make it feel less strange. Polish every rough first pass, call it wisdom, call it craft. Now I let the first line land, even when I don't understand. I don't ask it to impress, I just let it be the next. Practice is improving, right? It's showing up without a fight. It's doing what I said I'd do, even when I don't feel new. Not the promise, not the plan, just the work back in my hands. I'm not chasing perfect timing, I'm just practicing. Some days quiet, some days loud, some days lost inside the doubt. Still I come back to the page. That's the truest thing I make. I don't need the outcome clear, I just need to still be here. This isn't discipline or force, it's choosing a familiar course. The long way that I know by heart, beginning, breaking, and restart. I won't measure what it brings, I won't rush the learning curve. I'm allowed to still be learning, I'm allowed to take my turn. Practice is it earning grace, staying in the same small place. It's trusting growth I cannot see, and letting time keep shaping it. Not a finish, not a test, just a yes I keep saying next. I'm not waiting to arrive, I'm alive, I'm practicing. Same hand, same breath, same move, same small work, and it's the proof. Same hands, same breath.
This was inspired by a little box that I made one time that I would write little snippets down of things that I was praying about, and I was giving them over to the Lord, and I would put them in this box, and eventually the box got so full that I didn't want to take them back. I didn't want to like put them back in my head, so I burnt it. I am certain I know for a fact there was several things in there that were in there over and over again. And sometimes that's just the way it is. Like, you just have to practice. Sometimes, like, forgiveness is like that too. I've noticed, like, you just have to practice. Like, I have forgiven this. I have forgiven this. And then, so this was based on that practice of that little box that I had. And I wanted to have this in a tangible way. It's a little too thick, but it's symbolic more than it's symbolic. Probably more than practical. But okay, that's it. So we've got our Anchored in Truth devotional done. And I may end up adding something to the back here. But mostly it is done. I like that one a lot. I'll leave it alone for now. And I am going to call it done for now. And I will see y'all next time. Bye for now. Have a good day. Hope to see y'all back soon.
Stay a while, no second guess. Come on in. Sugar, pepper press. Not here to hurry, not too shy. Just to take the time it takes to find what was waiting all along in broken bits that still belong. Slow made stories, nothing stressed. Fold your heart into the mess. Made with care, never less. Come on in. Sugar, pepper press.